Integumentary system. The integumentary system consists of skin and its appendages, which include hair, nails, sebaceous glands, and sweat glands. Functions of integumentary system. 1. Protection. The skin acts as a protective stretchable covering. It prevents the entry of harmful microorganisms and foreign material. It also prevents loss of body fluids. 2. Temperature regulation. In hot surroundings, heat is lost through evaporation of sweat. Conversely, in cold environment, heat is preserved by fat and hair. 3. Excretion. Through perspiration, sweating, small amounts of waste material such as urea are excreted through skin. 4. Synthesis. In the skin, the vitamin D3, cholecalciferol, is synthesized from 7-dehydrocholesterol under the influence of ultraviolet rays from the sun. This vitamin is necessary for the normal growth of bones and teeth. 5. Sensory perception. The skin is an important sensory organ. It contains sensory receptors for heat, cold, touch, pressure, and pain. Skin. The skin is the largest organ of the body. It covers all of the external free surfaces. At various orifices, openings, of the body, the skin becomes continuous with the mucous membranes. The skin has two main parts or layers. The epidermis is the outer layer consisting of stratified squamous epithelium. The dermis is a thicker layer of connective tissue beneath the epidermis. Epidermis. The epidermis is actually a stratified squamous epithelium consisting of many layers of cells called keratinocytes. When examined under the microscope, the epidermis is generally seen to consist of 5 layers of cells. From deep to superficial, these layers are 1. Stratum bile, 2. Stratum spinosum, 3. Stratum granulosum, 4. Stratum lucidum, 5. Stratum corneum. The exposed surface of the epidermis is covered by the stratum corneum, which is composed of dead cells, cytoplasm of which is packed with filaments composed of a special protein called keratin. Therefore, this epithelium is referred to as stratified squamous epithelium. The keratinized cells of epidermis offer effective resistance both to passage of fluid through them and to friction. The most superficial cells of the stratum corneum are constantly shed off and replaced by cells that gradually move outward from the deepest layer. IC. Stratum bile, which is also called stratum germinativum. A steady mitotic activity in this layer maintains the necessary rate of regeneration of the epidermis. The epidermis has no blood vessels and obtains its nourishment and oxygen by diffusion of substances from the blood vessels of the underlying dermis. This explains why the deep epidermal layers are living and active, whereas the cells of the outer layers, being away from the blood supply, gradually become degenerated, and the most superficial layer consists of dead cells. The deeper layers of the epidermis also contain some other varieties of cells. A special type of cells, called melanocytes, produce a brownish-black pigment called melanin, which is distributed to the epidermal cells. Amount of the melanin in the epidermis is the major factor that determines the color of the skin, the black people having a much higher quantity than the white ones. Dermis. Beneath the epidermis lies the dermis or corium, which is a thick layer of dense connective tissue. This connective tissue is arranged in 2 layers, a superficial papillary layer and a deep reticular layer. The papillary layer forms blunt conical projections called diurnal papillae, which fit into reciprocal depressions on the undersurface of epidermis. The reticular layer consists chiefly of interlacing bundles of connective tissue fibers. The dermis contains abundant blood vessels, nerves, and nerve endings. It also lodges hair follicles and the sebaceous and sweat glands, which are epidermal derivatives extending into the dermis. The dermis is the real skin. When dried, it makes green hide, and when tanned, it makes leather. Under the skin is present superficial fascia, which is also known as subcutaneous tissue, or hypodermis. Cleavage lines on close observation. Faint linear clefts can be seen to be present in the skin. These clefts are indicative of the direction of collagenous fibers in the dermis. It has been found that the bundles of collagenous fibers are arranged in parallel rows, which follow different directional patterns in each region of the body. Generally, they are longitudinal in the limbs and circular in the neck and trunk. These lines of skin tension are called cleavage lines. A knowledge of their direction in different areas of body is very important for a surgeon. A surgical incision made parallel to cleavage lines heals faster and leaves only a fine scar. On the other hand, if an incision is made across the cleavage lines, it results in the formation of a gaping wound that heals slowly and leaves a broad, thick scar. Appendages of skin. The skin has 4 appendages: hair, nails, sebaceous glands, and sweat glands. The appendages are essentially epithelial structures derived from the epidermis. Hair, Latin synonym, pilus, singular. Pili, plural, are thread-like structures composed of dead cornified cells. Each hair has a shaft that projects above the skin surface and a root that is embedded in the skin. The root is surrounded by a tubular hair follicle that lies in the dermis and is responsible for the growth of the hair. The deep end of the hair follicle is dilated to form the hair bulb. The connective tissue of dermis indents the base of the hair bulb as hair papilla. Associated with catch hair follicle is a bundle of smooth muscle fibers called arrector pili. Contraction of arrector pili makes the hair stand erect. Hair are distributed over the entire surface of the body except on the palms, soles, lips, glans penis, clitoris, and labia minora. The hair are constantly shed and replaced by new ones. A hair is shed when its growth is complete. After a short period of rest, the follicle produces a new hair. The life period of hair varies in different regions of the body. Scalp hair have a longer lifespan, 3 to 5 years. The eyebrow and eyelash hair have much shorter life, 3 to 5 months. Nails. The nails are horny plates covering the dorsal surface of the distal segment of fingers and toes. Each nail consists of 3 parts: the body, the root, and the free edge. The body is that part which shows. It consists of cornified dead cells. The root is the hidden part that extends proximally deep to the fold of skin called nail fold. The free edge overhangs the tip of the finger or toe. The nail rests on an epithelial layer of skin called nail bed. The thicker layer of skin beneath the nail root is the matrix, where new cells are generated for the growth of the nail. The fingernails grow at an average rate of 0.5 millimeters per week. The toenails grow at about half that rate. Sebaceous glands. The sebaceous glands, oil glands, lie in the dermis. Duct of the sebaceous gland opens into the neck of a hair follicle, through which the secretion of the gland reaches the skin. Commonly, several sebaceous glands open into a single hair follicle. The sebaceous glands produce an oily secretion called sebum, which lubricates the skin surface. The sebaceous glands are not found in the palms and soles. Sweat glands. The sudoriferous or sweat glands are found over most of the body, being most numerous in the skin of the palms and soles. The secretory portion of the gland lies in the subcutaneous tissue and is in the form of a long tube, which is coiled to form a ball. The duct of the gland runs tortuously through the dermis, joins the epidermis, and spirals through it to reach the skin surface, where it terminates at an opening called sweat pore. The sudoriferous glands produce sweat. Evaporation of sweat from the skin surface helps to cool the body.